The Galactic Council chamber was the largest room in the galaxy. Thousands of species gathered inside it. Creatures with wings, creatures made of stone, creatures with glowing eyes, and creatures who floated like mist. Every seat was filled. Every mind was alert. Something unusual was about to happen. In the center of the chamber stood the human ambassador. He looked calm, almost too calm. His eyes were cold, his posture steady, and his voice carried a strange confidence. For years, humans had argued inside this room, fought for their rights, and defended weak species. But today, something was different. Everyone felt it. Before anyone could speak, the ambassador raised one hand. The entire chamber went silent. You could hear the crackling of energy shields and the soft hum of floating lights. Even the oldest alien races leaned forward, waiting to hear something important. The ambassador said only one line: Earth withdraws. Effective immediately. The words hit the chamber like a shockwave. Some aliens gasped, some shouted, some froze in disbelief. Earth was one of the founding members. Earth helped build the council. Earth protected half the galaxy in past wars. Earth was known for bravery, stubbornness, and fast growth. But now Earth was walking out, without warning, without debate, without hesitation. A tall, insect-like leader banged her staff on the floor. This is impossible. Humans cannot leave. They are bound by treaty. Explain this decision. But the human ambassador did not answer. He simply stepped away from the center platform. His calm walk felt more threatening than any weapon. It was not anger. It was not fear. It was something else. Purpose. As he passed the glowing council walls, a strange flicker ran across them. The lights dimmed for a second. Screens glitched. Symbols changed. Something invisible, something powerful, was touching the systems. Several technicians panicked, tapping their screens, trying to fix the sudden interference. But the moment the human ambassador stepped outside, everything returned to normal, except for the tension in the air. At the exit, a young alien officer watched him. She held a portable scanner in her hand, checking energy readings. Suddenly, her screen flashed bright red. A new signature appeared. It was huge, far larger than any known fleet. The signal came from deep space, but its origin tag showed one word: Earth. Before she could report it, her device shut off automatically. The battery was full. The system was healthy. Yet the device died as if someone, somewhere, forced it to stop. She stared at it in fear. She knew humans had advanced technology, but this was something else. Something beyond what the Council believed Earth could ever build. Inside the chamber, chaos erupted. What are humans doing? Have they found a new weapon? Are they preparing for war? They cannot hide from us. The council leaders shouted for order, but no one listened. The galaxy was huge, old, and powerful, but humans had always been unpredictable. Every species knew one truth: if humans make a decision, they never step back. And this time, humans had stepped out of the galaxy's biggest alliance. A deep voice echoed from the chamber speakers. Emergency session declared. All members remained seated. But minds were racing. Rumors spread like wildfire. One alien whispered, "I heard humans discovered something outside the galaxy." Another replied, "No, I heard the council refused to help them." Another added, "Humans do not leave unless they are preparing for something big." The fear inside the room grew heavier. Suddenly, the main hologram in the chamber activated by itself. A star map appeared, showing the Milky Way. Then, slowly, 12 red dots appeared around Earth's region. The dots were moving outward, spreading like a wave. A council technician yelled, "Who activated the projector? I did not authorize this." But no one answered. The map remained on its own. The red dots pulsed brighter. The ambassador had not even left the building, yet Earth's presence was still here, silent, controlled, mysterious. A senior alien general stood. "We must act at once. Humans cannot leave without consequences. Their instability is dangerous. Their silence is dangerous. Their technology is growing too fast." But an older species disagreed. Humans are not unstable. They only prepare when something scares them. Ask yourself, what made Earth walk away today? No one could answer, because no one knew the truth. And that fear grew even stronger when a final message appeared on the hologram, written in human language. Do not follow us. The chamber fell completely silent. The message faded. The hologram shut down. Outside, the young officer finally restarted her scanner. The strange energy signal was gone. Not weaker, gone. As if something massive had appeared for a moment, and then hidden itself again. She shivered. Something was coming. Something Earth already knew. Something Earth was preparing for. Something big enough to make an entire planet leave the most powerful alliance in the galaxy. And for the first time in history, the galaxy felt truly afraid of human silence. Silence had become the most dangerous sound in the galaxy. Every star system noticed it. Every species felt it. Messages sent to Earth returned with no signal. Space routes once filled with human trade ships were empty. Human colonies that always replied within minutes now responded with only a single automated message. Earth is unavailable. No explanation. No details. Nothing. At first, the Council believed it was temporary. Maybe Earth needed time. Maybe humans were angry and wanted space. But as days turned into weeks, something strange began happening. Things that had never happened in the galaxy before. Human-made beacons along the borders went dark, one by one, but not in a normal way. They didn't break. They didn't explode. They simply shut down perfectly, like someone switched off a light. No errors. No signals. No damage. This was not isolation. This was preparation. In a small outpost near the rim, 2 alien officers watched old recordings of humans. Soldiers saving planets. Engineers repairing ships. Diplomats negotiating peace. One officer, a bird-like creature named Lyran, shook her head. Humans do not go silent. Humans talk too much. Her partner nodded slowly. And when they are quiet, something is very wrong. They turned to their scanners again. For hours, they had been tracking a strange pattern in space, a soft pulse moving through several star systems. It was not a ship. It was not a weapon. It was something else. Something new. Lyran zoomed in. It's almost like footsteps, she whispered. Her partner frowned. Footsteps of what? Before she could answer, the pulse disappeared. Not weakened. Not faded. Vanished. The same moment across the galaxy, similar signals vanished too. The Council science team stared at their dead monitors with confusion. Whatever was causing the signals was advanced. Too advanced to be random. Inside the main Council tower, panic was beginning to bloom. Holograms of worried leaders floated above circular tables. Many argued. Many shouted. None had answers. This is human sabotage. No, humans are hiding something. Something is happening in their solar system. We must prepare our fleets. An elder species slammed a metallic staff on the floor. Fleets will not help you, he said quietly. Humans are not making war. They are preparing for something far bigger. The room fell silent. Even the walls seemed to listen. A nervous diplomat pulled up a secret report. We have lost contact with every probe inside the solar system. Every drone. Every satellite. Every spy unit. How? Someone shouted. The diplomats swallowed hard. They just stop working when they cross a certain boundary. A boundary we have never seen before. A hologram lit up, showing space around Earth. A faint circular barrier surrounded the entire system, made of unknown energy. No weapon. No signature. Just silence. What is this? Someone whispered. No one could answer. Meanwhile, in a hidden corner of the galaxy, a group of rival species prepared their attack fleets. They believed Earth's silence was weakness. They believed now was the time to strike. They wanted to destroy humans before humans could destroy them. But when they launched their first scout ship toward Earth's boundary, something terrifying happened. The moment the ship touched the invisible barrier, everything inside it froze. Engines froze. Weapons froze. Even time inside the ship seemed to slow. The pilot panicked. He tried to send a distress signal. He tried to steer away. He tried everything. But the barrier pushed the ship back, gently, Silently, like a giant hand setting aside a toy, the ship was unharmed. But the message was clear. Do not enter. The pilot returned trembling. This is no simple technology, he told the commanders. This is something else. Something humans were never supposed to have. Rumors grew stronger. Some said humans found a supreme energy source. Some said humans discovered a new species. Some said Earth was building something unimaginable. But the most frightening rumor was the simplest. Humans were never silent unless they were preparing for a storm. Back in the council, a scientist stood before the assembly, trying to calm the panic. We must not assume war. We must assume caution. Humans are secretive when they protect something. Protect what? A general demanded. The scientist took a deep breath. We do not know. The uncertainty felt worse than truth. Suddenly, all council screens flickered. A short encrypted message appeared, written in a pattern only humans used. The characters rearranged themselves into a simple warning. Do not interfere. The screen shut off. The chamber shook with fear. If humans could override council systems from across the galaxy, then Earth's technology had evolved far beyond anything known. In a small observation deck, Lyron watched the stars through a transparent dome. The galaxy felt different now. Colder, darker. Why do humans always walk the hardest path alone? She whispered. Her partner answered quietly. Because humans only fight loudly, after they have been silent for too long. They both stared at the dark sky. Somewhere out there, deep beyond their reach, Earth was moving, changing, building something huge. And the galaxy finally understood a terrifying truth. Human silence was not weakness. Human silence was the beginning of something unstoppable. The first sign did not come as a message. It did not come as an attack. It did not even come as a sound. It came as a shadow, a moving shadow in a place where shadows should not exist. A patrol team from the Zyran Nebula was scanning empty space. Their ship drifted near a cluster of bright blue stars, a region where space was clear, quiet, and predictable. Nothing unusual ever happened there, until something blocked the light. At first, the patrol captain thought it was an asteroid, but the shape was too smooth, too sharp, too perfect. Then the shadow grew larger and larger until it stretched across half their viewing screen. The ship's sensors were confused. Sensor report, no object detected, yet outside, something massive was clearly there. The captain frowned. How can an object block starlight, but not appear on our scanners? No one had an answer. The shadow slid across space like a giant silent creature. Then, slowly, very slowly, it began to change shape. Straight lines appeared. Edges sharpened. A long hull shimmered into existence like a ghost taking form. One of the crew members gasped, his voice trembling. It's decloaking. The entire patrol team stood frozen as the object faded into visibility. What appeared was not a normal spaceship. It was something far beyond known engineering. Its surface was smooth and black, as if it was absorbing light rather than reflecting it. Alien runes glowed faintly across its hull, but not alien runes. Human markings. Human symbols. Human engineering. But humans had never built a ship like this. The patrol team stared in shock as a single designation lit up across the hull. Earth Fleet Unit 01, Silent Dawn. The captain swallowed hard. That is not the Earth Fleet we knew. Before they could report, the ship scanned them. Not aggressively, but like a doctor examining a patient. Every wire in their ship vibrated. Their lights dimmed. Their engines faltered for a few seconds. Then a voice arrived on their comms. Not human, not artificial. Something in between, deep and calm like a voice made of steel. Do not interfere. Earth Fleet is in motion. The patrol team froze. The AI continued. Your presence is not required. Leave the area immediately. Identify yourself, the captain demanded, trying to sound brave. But the voice responded in absolute silence. Then, we are the wall. We are the shield. Do not stand in our path. Without warning, space behind the ship cracked like glass. A thin blue line opened. A tear in reality. A doorway into hyperspace unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. And through that terror came more shadows. Not one, not 10, hundreds, each decloaked one by one. Massive ships with perfect formation, moving without any engine noise. Fleet Unit 02, Fleet Unit 03, Fleet Unit 04. The numbers kept rising. The patrol team stared in disbelief. This is impossible, whispered a crew member. Humans cannot build this many ships. They do not have enough worlds, enough factories, enough resources. But the ships kept coming. Their hulls shimmered with unknown energy. Their weapons were silent but humming with control power. Their engines had no exhaust trails, as if they were moving using pure gravity itself. Then came the final ship, larger than all others, longer than an entire city. The symbol on its hull glowed gold. Earth flagship, Resolve. For a full minute, no one spoke. Even the ship's AI remained silent. Then the Resolve sent a message, not just a patrol team, but to the entire sector. Earth issues no threat. Earth asks for no permission. Earth moves for the protection of all. A pause. Do not follow us. The patrol captain felt his legs turn weak. Protection from what? He whispered. But the fleet did not answer. Instead, they spread out across the star system, moving like a single living organism. Their formation was flawless. Their silence was terrifying. Their technology was beyond understanding. When the patrol team finally found their courage, they transmitted a warning to the council. But something strange happened. Their message did not travel through normal channels. It did not pass through relays. It simply arrived instantly. The council communications chief stared at the report. How did this message reach us without delay? That is impossible. Even quantum channels cannot do this. The answer came seconds later. A hidden transmission appeared inside the council chamber. A short message, simple but unthinkable. Earth has upgraded your communication system. You're welcome. The chamber erupted in fear. If humans could modify council systems remotely, what else had they changed? What else could they do? Back in the patrol ship, the crew watched as the Earth fleet aligned perfectly. 1,000 warships. Silent, advanced, purposeful. The captain whispered the words no one wanted to say. Earth didn't leave the council because they were weak. They left because they outgrew us. And somewhere deep inside that colossal fleet, a signal pulsed, steady, cold, powerful. A countdown. The galaxy didn't know it yet, but something was coming. Something that scared even humans. And 1,000 warships were only the beginning. The storm did not begin with ships. It began with fear. The Galactic Council had survived wars, plagues, rebellions, and even star collapses. But it never faced something as terrifying as a silent human fleet. A fleet that did not brag, did not threaten, did not explain, only moved with purpose. The moment the first images of 1,000 human warships appeared inside the council chamber, every species reacted differently. Some stood up in shock. Some whispered in panic. Some pretended to stay calm, but their shaking hands betrayed them. But one reaction spread across the entire chamber like wildfire. Confusion. Dangerous confusion. The council's glowing platform flickered as leaders shouted over one another. Even the translation system struggled to keep up. They built this without telling anyone. 1,000 warships? How? Humans cannot do this alone. A tall reptilian general slammed his claws on the table. Humans left us. Now they return with weapons. That is an act of war. But an older species, the crystalline Ceridi, rose slowly. No, she said. Her voice rang like soft bells. War is loud. Humans returned quietly. That is worse. The chamber fell silent. Quiet humans were not safe humans. A nervous ambassador pulled up a classified file. We have something you must all see. He hesitated. This was recorded 6 years ago. It was sealed because it caused panic. A hologram activated. Inside it stood a human scientist, young, tired, and covered in dust. Her background showed a broken research station. Sparks flew behind her as alarm screamed. Her voice was shaky, desperate. If the council does not act, something will enter our galaxy. We detected them. They are older than any species here. They are watching us. They are coming. The hologram froze. No one breathed. Then the Serity elder whispered, "So Earth warned us and the council ignored them." The reptilian general hissed, "You expect us to believe this? A fairy tale about monsters outside the galaxy." Another ambassador added, "Humans worry too much. They panic easily. Their warnings were exaggerated." But a small aquatic species spoke up, trembling. "We saw their signals too, long ago, but we were told to stay silent." Anger erupted instantly. "You had information? You knew about this? You endangered us all." Fear divided the chamber. Trust shattered. Old alliances cracked like glass. But the deepest fracture came when a recording from the patrol ship played on the main screen, showing Earth's new flagship, the Resolve, a ship larger than anything the Council possessed. The recording ended with a chilling human message. "We are the wall. We are the shield. Do not follow us." The reptilian general yelled, "Shield from what? Protection from what?" Humans refused to answer because they are preparing to conquer the Council. But the Serity elder shook her head. "No, humans do not threaten unless pushed. Learn from their silence." The chamber lights flickered. For a full moment, everything went dark. When power returned, a single line glowed across every screen. Project Exodus. File breached. Every leader stared in shock. This was a Council classified file. Top level, sealed, impossible to access without unanimous approval. But someone or something had just opened it. The file displayed a star map. Lines connected distant points. Strange symbols rotated around the edges. A single sentence at the top of the file made every heart freeze. Earth's exit request denied by Council. Reason: unverified threat data. The Serity elder read it aloud. "You refuse their request for help." The reptilian general snapped. "We cannot support every human fear." But another ambassador shouted in anger. "They didn't fear. They saw something. Something we refuse to face." The council chamber devolved into chaos. Leaders accused each other of lying. Old enemies reignited ancient hatred. Species blamed humans, blamed each other, blamed the council. The unity of centuries cracked in minutes. Then a scream echoed from the back of the chamber. Everyone turned. A junior communications officer ran forward, pale and shaking. As sensors from the rim, they activated themselves. And a leader demanded. The officer swallowed. They detected something. What something? The officer's voice almost broke. A large movement outside the galaxy. The chamber erupted again. How large? What kind of movement? Is it human? Is it something else? The officer whispered the answer. It's not human. Silence fell like a hammer. The Serity elder closed her eyes. So Earth was telling the truth. The reptilian general sat down slowly, tail trembling. Then why did they hide their fleet? Why not tell us everything? The elder replied softly, "Because we did not listen the first time." Her words burned through the chamber. The officer added one final detail. "The signal is growing stronger every hour. Something big is entering the galaxy." No one spoke. No one breathed. The council, once the strongest political force in the galaxy, now sat broken, split by fear, guilt, and the terrible realization that they were unprepared. And outside their borders, Earth's 1,000 warships waited, not to conquer, not to attack, not to threaten, but for something approaching from the darkness, something only humans had seen coming. It began with a silent blackout, not a natural blackout, not a power failure, not an attack. It was a kind of silence that felt intentional, as if someone reached across the stars and switched off the galaxy with their fingertips. Entire star systems near the council border went dark at the same moment. Navigation satellites froze in mid-calculation. Military radars glitched into static. Civilian ships drifted helplessly. Even the stars themselves looked dimmer, as if something massive was blocking their ancient light. A minor ship near the Talon belt was the first to see it. The crew stared through the viewing window as a curtain of darkness slowly peeled away from space, like fog clearing from battlefield, and revealed shapes behind it. Not stars, Not asteroids. Not natural formations. Shapes with hulls. Shapes with weapons. Shapes with human markings glowing in cold blue light. One of the miners whispered, "Is that a fleet?" But it wasn't a fleet. It was a wall. A wall of massive human warships stretching across the star system, rows upon rows, perfectly aligned, forming a barrier that no one had ever seen before in any war. The ships did not drift. They did not shake from engine output. They stood absolutely still, like 1,000 sleeping giants waiting to open their eyes. Then the lights turned on. Every ship lit up at once, bright, steady, synchronized. The sudden glow illuminated the darkness so strongly that nearby stars looked weak in comparison. A scanner operator on the miner's ship nearly fainted. There are exactly 1,000, he stammered. No more, no less. Perfect formation. The captain whispered. No species in the galaxy could build this many dreadnoughts. Not in 1,000 years. But Earth had done it, and Earth had done it in silence. Inside the Council's main chamber, chaos broke loose as emergency alarms rang from every direction. A hologram popped up in the center of the room, showing the massive fleet in real time. Leaders gasped. Some shouted. Some backed away as if the image might break out a screen. A council general roared, "This is an act of war." But his voice trembled. Everyone heard the fear in it. The Serity elder rose slowly. "No, this is not war. Humans do not stand in lines to attack. They stand in lines to protect." The hologram zoomed in. Each warship was unique. Some were long like spears, some wide like shields, some shaped like crescents or arrows or silent towers, all glowing with the same blue energy. A diplomat pointed shakily. What is that light? Humans never had that before. The older species responded quietly. They evolved. Millions of citizens across the galaxy gathered around screens to watch the impossible sight. Children, soldiers, workers, scientists, even criminals paused their lives to witness Earth's return. Rumors spread again. Humans have awakened ancient powers. Humans found something and copied it. Humans are no longer normal humans. Humans built these ships to conquer us. But one rumor rose above the rest. Humans built these ships for someone else, something else. Meanwhile, on a small observation vessel, a young alien officer named Lyran from earlier now stood face to face with the greatest wall of ships ever formed. Her voice trembled as she activated her recorder. "Day 72, she whispered. Human silence is broken, but the sound they returned with is not a voice. It's a warning. Suddenly, her ship's sensors came alive. Without her touching anything, a message appeared on her screen. Incoming transmission from Earth Flagship Resolve. Her heart raced. The last thing anyone wanted was a direct call from the largest human warship ever built. The screen lit up with a single line of text. "Remain calm. Stay where you are. This is not for you." She hesitated. Not for her? Not for the Council? Then who? Before she could think, her entire ship shook gently, like a soft vibration passing through it. Outside the window, the formation of warships shifted, slowly, precisely, deliberately. The 1,000 ships parted, opening a long, straight corridor to the fleet, pointing directly toward deep space. Every sensor in the galaxy detected it. Something was coming through that corridor, something that was not human, and humans were preparing for it. Back at the Council, leaders stared at the same readings. A signal, a large one, was approaching from beyond the rim. "What is that?" someone shouted. A terrified officer whispered, "It's the same type of signal Earth warned us about 6 years ago." Another added, "And we ignored them." The Serity elder closed her eyes. Earth did not build warships for war against us. They built them because they knew this day would come. A heavy silence filled the room. Finally, the human flagship opened another transmission, broadcasting across the entire galaxy in every language. Earth returns with a warning, not with war. A pause. Stand by for further instructions. The connection ended. No threats, no demands, no explanations, only a warning, which terrified everyone even more. Because if Earth needed 1,000 warships, then whatever was coming was strong enough to destroy galaxies. The truth did not arrive like a message. It arrived like a memory the galaxy never knew existed. Inside the Earth flagship Resolve, a chamber opened for the first time in years. Its doors slid apart with a cold metallic sigh, revealing a single human figure standing before a wall of shifting holograms. She was old, her hair turning silver, her uniform worn from years of hidden work. Her name was Dr. Mara Jean, the scientist from the old recording the Council ignored. She touched the glowing wall with shaking fingers, and the hologram expanded outward, showing the entire galaxy, then zooming beyond it, pushing into the dark space between galaxies. "There," she whispered. A ripple began at the edge of the map, small, faint, but monstrous in meaning. Not a signal, not a star explosion, not a natural event. A presence older than galaxies. A presence that watched and waited far away. In the council chamber, the same map suddenly flickered into existence. No one activated it. No one authorized it. It simply appeared, linked directly to Earth's system. The Serity elder gasped softly as she recognized a woman standing inside the projection. "Mara Jean," she whispered. "The scientist we ignored." The reptilian general snarled, "Projection breach. Shut it down." But the system did not respond. Nothing responded. Earth was controlling the council chamber. Not forcefully, just naturally, like breathing. Dr. Mara Jin's voice echoed through the room, calm but heavy. 6 years ago, Earth detected a signal from beyond the galaxy. A living signal. Something massive. Something ancient. Images filled the hologram. Distant galaxies collapsing. Stars drained like dying candles. Civilizations erased in silence. In every case, Mara continued, the same pattern appeared before destruction. A soft pulse, moving through space like a heartbeat. The Serity elder looked pale. "We have detected that pulse recently." Mara nodded. "Yes, you have, but only Earth understood its meaning." The reptilian general shouted, "You expect us to believe in unstoppable forces coming to kill us all." Mara didn't shout back. She didn't need to. She simply zoomed the hologram further until a dark shape appeared. 90% unseen, only its enormous silhouette barely visible against the void. The council chamber fell completely silent. A cold silence. A hopeless silence. Mara's voice dropped lower. "We call them the harvesters. They consume galaxies. They move slowly, patiently. And once they enter a galaxy, the hologram showed a galaxy being eaten from one side to the other, light fading like a dying ember. Nothing stops them. No one dared speak. Even the loudest leaders felt powerless. Mara continued. Earth requested help. The council called it paranoia. They blocked our research. They denied support. They forced us to stay quiet. She paused. Her eyes filled with something not anger, but deep disappointment. So Earth left. We had no choice. The hologram shifted again, showing Earth over the past 6 years, working in complete silence. Factories glowing day and night. New energy sources humming beneath the ocean. AI minds evolving rapidly. Shipyards rising in orbit. Millions of humans uniting under a single purpose. Project Exodus. Mara said, "Our plan to build a fleet, not to conquer, but to defend the galaxy when the harvesters arrive." She looked directly into the camera. "They're arriving now." At that exact moment, across the very edge of the galaxy, star sensors activated themselves. Every single one. A deep vibration passed through the void. Planets trembled. Space ripple fields distorted. And a faint heartbeat echoed across space, soft but vast, like the breathing of a creature older than time. The harvesters had entered the galaxy. Inside the council chamber, panic exploded. Impossible. This cannot be real. We must evacuate systems. We must unite our fleets. But Mara interrupted. No fleet in this galaxy can stand against them. The chamber froze again. She continued. That is why Earth built 1,000 warships. Not as a threat to you, but as a wall strong enough to slow the harvesters. The Sarati elder asked softly, "Slow them? Not stop them?" Mara shook her head. "No, we cannot stop them alone." The silence felt like a physical weight pressing on every leader. Finally, someone asked a question everyone feared. What happens if Earth fails? Mara's answer was a whisper. Then the galaxy dies. As she ended the transmission, the council chamber lights flickered again, this time not from Earth, but from something outside their control. A new signal was appearing on the galaxy map. Huge, cold, steady, massive enough to distort space itself. The first harvester ship. Even though it was still millions of light years away, its shadow fell across the hologram like a dark hand closing over the galaxy. The reptilian general collapsed into his chair. So Earth left the council because we didn't believe them. The Sarati elder whispered, "No, they left because they had to save us, even when we refused to help." And somewhere far away, Earth's 1,000 warships rotated in unison. Engines warmed. Weapons glowed. AI networks linked. Every human heart beat as one. Because the real war was about to begin. It began with a tremor in space. Not an explosion. Not a weapon firing. Not a fleet maneuver. It was the kind of tremor that made the stars themselves hesitate. A slow vibration spreading through the galaxy like a cold breath. Every sensor, every satellite, every listening post screamed the same warning. The harvester has entered the galaxy. In the void beyond the rim, space warped, curving inward like the galaxy was being pulled toward a massive gravity well. What emerged was not a ship in the normal sense. It was a moving eclipse, a titan of living metal and cosmic tissue, stretching across thousands of kilometers. Dozens of glowing red cores pulsed under its armor, beating like the hearts of a monster older than time. Smaller entities swarmed around it, like insects orbiting a queen. The galaxy had never seen anything like it. Earth had, and Earth feared it. On board the human flagship Resolve, alarms flashed, but there was no panic. Humans stood ready. Soldiers strapped into seats. Engineers checked systems. AI cores hummed with growing energy. A single calm voice filled the ship. Harvester signatures detected. Engaged defensive grid. 1,000 warships across the formation lit up in synchronized brilliance, forming glowing circles of blue light. Shields never before used in any known galactic battle. Captain Idrin Hale stood at the center of the Resolve's command bridge. His face was steady. His hands did not shake. Behind him stood Dr. Marjean, the woman who warned the galaxy years ago. Idrin whispered, "After all this time, they're really here." Mara nodded. "We trained for this. We built for this. Now we fight for everyone." Across the galaxy, alien citizens watched their screens with collective fear. Children clung to parents. Elders whispered old myths. Soldiers tightened their grips on weapons they knew would be useless. Even the council chamber was quiet. No arguments, no politics, no pride. Only fear. A trembling diplomat asked, "Will Earth hold the line?" The Sarati elder replied, "If they cannot, then none of us can." The harvester's first attack came with no warning. A beam of corrupted energy shot across thousands of kilometers, ripping open space like tearing cloth. The blast shredded an asteroid field, vaporized a dwarf moon, and kept moving, as if a hunger for more. It approached the human fleet. Idrin shouted, "Brace!" 1,000 Earth ships activated their barriers. The beam struck. For a moment, everything disappeared inside pure white light. Then, the light faded. The formation still stood. Damaged, shaking, but alive. Human shields had held. All across the galaxy, beings gasped in disbelief. They survived. They stopped the beam. No one has ever done that. Mara whispered, "Good. Now we show them Earth does not break." The human fleet launched its counterstrike. Flares of blue plasma shot forward, like spears of lightning. Gravity cannons twisted space around harvester drones. AI-guided missiles split apart into hundreds of glowing shards, searching for weak points on the massive Titan. For the first time in its ancient existence, the harvester jerked backward, as if surprised. A mechanical scream vibrated across space. The monster was injured. Idrin smiled. We can hurt it. But Dr. Mara shook her head. No, we can only slow it. She touched a panel, revealing internal readings. Behind the monster, more signals awakened. More titans. More harvesters. Idrin's face dropped. How many? Mara whispered the truth. Enough to erase galaxies. Back in the council chamber, panic would have erupted again, if not for a single new message appearing on every screen. A human message. We fight for the galaxy. You will not die alone. Prepare your fleets. Stand with us. The reptilian general rose, voice trembling. They want us to fight beside them? The Saradi elder nodded, tears forming in her crystalline eyes. Humans never abandoned us. We abandoned them, and still they are saving us. One by one, species across the council made the same decision. Stand with Earth. Ships launched from every world, tiny compared to the human warfleet, but carrying hope, pride, and the will to live. This was no longer a human battle. This was a galactic stand. The harvester roared again. 3 more emerged from a void. The sky darkened with their massive forms. Idrin stared at the sight. Even with a whole galaxy, it may not be enough. Mara placed a hand on his shoulder. It doesn't matter. We stand anyway. The bridge fell silent. Then Idrin raised his command baton. To all human ships, activate the final protocol. AI cores glowed. Engines roared. Energy spiraled around every ship. A single word pulsed across every screen in the fleet. Defend. The 1,000 human warships surged forward together, like a wall of blue fire. Behind them, alien ships joined the line, adding their lights to humanity's burning shield. Humans did not fight alone. Not anymore. Humanity's voice echoed across the galaxy, strong and unbroken. For every world, for every species, we stand. The first major battle between the harvesters and the United Galaxy began, with Earth at the front as a shield between existence and extinction. And in that moment, every alien finally understood the truth. The Council never protected humanity. Humanity had always protected the galaxy.